Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I want to talk today in this video about the inner union and how this shifts the divine masculine. So this is really important to understand that this process is very much led by the divine feminine, who then is energetically shifting everything. And really, this is the whole process here. So the feminine has an effect on her divine masculine. And this is for the reason because the energetic shifts, the energetic alignment, the merging process that's continuing to happen during this journey is changing the divine masculine's reality, is shifting his reality, is allowing him to then be catapulted onto his process further on. So he is not exactly asleep. The divine masculine is very much, they are I'm not saying that they are more awake than the feminine, but a lot of them, they are conscious of the connection and they do understand on some level. However, we have two different kind of karmic templates running here. We have two ego structures running. So there is the divine feminine has her own karmic template. The divine masculine has his own karmic template that he is here to clear. So this is really important to understand that as we come into more of the inner union alignment, we're shifting the divine masculine as well. So the inner union is shifting their reality, is making them go on their journey too. So it's creating those shifts for them. So it is really important that, the divine feminine focuses on her inner union and continuing that process, because that is really what's shifting everything to union. And it doesn't matter what is happening in the 3D, because a lot of you get focused too much on the 3D. And it really doesn't matter, because the 3D, whatever is playing out, is always an old story. So it's always something that's happening in the past. So most of the time it's past timeline events that are playing out. So as you continue in this journey, you really go into higher levels of consciousness and you start to really embody more of your future identity. So you then live more in the future. So you're living from more the future timelines of Earth rather than the past timelines. So you're observing everything out there in the 3D as a past timeline. And so what's been happening is that a lot of us have been stuck in these past timeline loops. Well, most of humanity has been stuck in past timeline loops. And so when we incarnate here, we are also in the 3D, and then we go through ascension. So we then collapse old timelines. We close fragmentations of our soul, of our consciousness. We merge everything back into one. So that's the inner union alignment. That's where we're coming back to that alignment. As you come into this alignment more and more, you're going to then see how that's shifting not just your 3D reality, but it's shifting your divine masculine's reality too, because they are following the divine feminine. The divine feminine is here to really make this all happen. If the divine feminine is not, really moving forward with this process, the divine masculine is just going to stay stuck in those past timelines or wherever he is. However, we do have our own karmic template that we're here to resolve, and they have their own karmic template to resolve, or their ego, or whatever it is, whatever they're working with. It's not always the same as yours. You may have similar core wounds. However, you do have your own things to resolve. A lot of the times, the divine feminine is going to alchemize for both, especially if she has done most of her own clearings. She's going to start to help the divine masculine. What's happening right now is that a lot of divine masculines are going through a lot of shifts based on the divine feminine, how much she has been shifting in her journey and her process over the last few years. So if you're feeling like, you're affected by some energy, or you're feeling like there's this weird energy around you, or you're feeling emotions that are not yours, you're picking up on your divine masculine's energy, you're being pulled by their energy, there's some energy pulls happening. So that is because the divine masculine is going through their own process, their own shifts, and you're picking up on that, and you're also helping to alchemize that, whatever you're feeling. And so that's part of this process and journey, but it is important to understand that the divine feminine she has to be the leader in this process. She is the energetic leader, and nothing's going to happen unless she's aligning to inner union and, moving things forward, progressing on this journey. That's shifting the divine masculine, that's shifting his timelines. It doesn't matter what's going on in the 3D. And I've explained how timelines work and how we're collapsing timelines. I've done a lot of videos on that and how this process is really helping us collapse old past timelines, which really are those karmic timelines and things like that. So the divine feminine, she is, operating more from the future self, and then the divine masculine, he is still operating from his lower self most of the time, from the ego, from the karmic template. So that all has to be resolved, but that's only going to be resolved if the divine feminine is shifting to inner union. Then it's going to catapult the divine masculine on his journey, on his healing, on his ascension more and more rapidly. And that's when he's going to start to have a deeper awakening, a deeper root awakening, and it's going to hit him a lot harder because of how fast he has to catch up to the divine feminine. A lot of the times it's a lot more in terms of intensity for him. He's going to be feeling it more. And that's just because if you have energetically reached a certain alignment, a certain point, the 3D is catching up to that. And that's then changing the reality of 3D and also shifting the divine masculine, because you're one energetic unit. And you're going to feel inside of you where exactly you are in terms of this process. Where are you on this journey? Because the divine masculine, it's not like he's shifting along, right away. He's not automatically in shifting. He's going to take time to catch up to the shifts. So whatever shifts that you have gone through, he's going to be following that. So it's not an automatic change. It may take him a lot more time to catch up to you, and that's fine. We have to be holding space for the divine masculine. We have to continue our process, but just know that the inner union alignment is going to cause everything to realign to its natural order, to its natural balance, to its original divine blueprint, and to the union. There is no other way. There's no other way to do this. There's no control or nothing. All you need to do is continue the energetic work, and that's aligning everything for you. You don't need to use force or try to make things happen in the 3D. You can't. So this is the message, is that right now the divine masculines there's a huge divine masculine collective going through internal shifts, and because we are in an accelerated time right now with this process, with this journey, we're all feeling it right now. Like, we're all feeling very intense transformation happening, and that is because that's the acceleration, and that's what I've been talking about and preparing everybody for before this year even happened, because I knew that it was going to be quite an acceleration. So right now, the divine masculine collective, there are a few that are, there's a lot of them that are feeling this energetic shift. And if you've been progressing in your union, if you've been doing internal work, if you've been doing a soul work, then the divine masculine is going to catch up to you eventually and come back into the same timeline and come back into union to meet you where you are, to meet the feminine where she is, to really become that divine masculine king that the divine feminine really, she deserves that. But she's not in a place where she needs that anymore, because she has built up her own king inside of her, and she's no longer needing anyone outside of her. She's just there holding space, but she's in her power. So that's the alignment you reach. You're no longer in that needy energy, in that codependency, in that place of, I need divine masculine to do X, Y, and Z. I need him to be there for me, or, you know, this is his role. There's none of that anymore, because you've really come into your true power as a divine feminine, and that's what you're here to ultimately align to. So this is my message for today. I send you lots of love, and I'll speak to you in the next video.